here we are. So, welcome again. I'm so glad to have you here to learn more about the Calling My Spirit Back Collective, to learn a little bit about the heart behind the collective, how this vision was born, a little bit about my own journey. This is a space specifically for us as BIPOC folks, as folks of the global majority, to decolonize our spiritual practice and community. It's a space for us to reclaim ancestral wisdom, practices, to be guided by elders that want to see us maintaining our roots and our lineages and our practice. And it's a place for us to also awaken to revolutionary hope, revolutionary vision, because we are living in an unprecedented times. As many of you see, like the empire is raging. We see our undocumented folks. We see folks in Sudan, Congo, Palestine. We see the effects in our own immigrant communities and Native communities. And it is imperative that folks are able to come together to call forth our power, to call forth our medicine, to co-create new worlds together, to do this in community. And so this is even more than a collective, it's a call. It's a call for us to be in community and to co-create the kind of world that we want to see. And so again, I just want to thank you for being here. A little bit more about me. This is like a silly post. Some of you might have seen this before. This is my many moods and all the things that I juggle. Again, my name is Christina Quintanilla. I'm so glad to have you here. And just a little bit of my moods. I'm a part-time professor of ethnic studies, of sociology, and I feel like that's the other side of healing. We need to understand history in order to heal. And so I love walking with students and learning our own histories, the good parts and the ugly parts, because that's part of our healing. I'm always talking about decolonizing all the things. If you are a friend of mine, I'm always thinking about how can we decolonize it? So I put, let's decolonize everything. I love soul care, particularly how are we holding each other in tenderness? How are we doing the spiritual work that's necessary for us to sustain the work that we're doing? And so I'm all about soul care. This is why I birthed CQ Soul Care as well. And we've held several collectives. The last one was for women of color. I'm also a soap maker. So the funny thing is some people in my former life, just not really, I'm just joking, knew me as like the soap queen or something. Like they only saw soap making videos of me and they're like, wait, you do more than just make soap. So I'm grateful for that era. It helped me pay for grad school. But soap making is part of me. Um, I love being rooted in the ancestral wisdom, but also inner Nina wisdom. I think our inner children have just as much wisdom as those really wise parts of ourselves. So I put that there. I absolutely love matcha. You can see me always like looking for the best matcha latte, especially when I'm traveling. And I love cats, and so I put this little cat thing, this little cat emoji here. And I put free Palestine and end ICE, right meow. That's just like a little silly, a little silly thing. And I also deal with chronic illness. And so if you're my friend, you might have heard me be like, I need to charge my battery. I'll come and I will find you when I'm able to. And so I've really been learning from my own body. It's been a teacher of like those ebbs and flows. And that's a little bit more about me. I absolutely love creating spaces that sit at the intersection of cultural and spiritual reclamation. Some of these spaces have been spaces where I myself am like, this is what I am meant to do in the world. Those spaces of history and culture, but also the spaces that nourish our spirits. Helping folks come together and awaken is something that I absolutely love. My journey has also been so impacted by Elders, I would be not be who I am if it had not been for the care, for the teaching of elders in my life. Some of these elders I can name are, Randy and Edith Woodley, who are Cherokee and Shoshone. Nana Marina from Guatemala, who has taught me so much about being in relationship with the fire and Mayan cosmovision. Cacao, the medicine of cacao. I am so grateful for elders as well, like Nana Mai as well, who teaches wisdom of the womb and wisdom of our life force. I'm grateful for elders like Dee Dominguez, who is a Yokets elder that again has taught me to be in relationship with the water and the land. And also most recently been learning from Carolina, who is a Tika medicine woman, works with tobacco and cacao, and is just really powerfully held by ancestors. And so I'm so grateful. I think we need to name our elders and that we didn't just learn all this when we were born, you know. I'm grateful to have been on the journey with some beautiful elders. I also want to share a little bit about my own lineages. So this is kind of a little diagram, which sometimes is helpful to get just kind of map out where some of my ancestors have come from, the ancestors that hold me. I have Cherokee ancestors that have come from Oklahoma and before that, Tennessee, from Chihuahua. I have ancestors that we think we have Raramuri roots from that lineage. The rest of my ancestors come from Guanajuato, Cerro Gordo, which is Chichimeca land. And I absolutely feel these ancestors holding me and always with me. And so I want to thank those ancestors. And I think it's important to share, where we come from. I also just want to share personally. Um, I'm not sure about you all, but life the past month or so for me has completely like broken me open and it's broken my heart open. I want to share that I'm human, just like anybody else, and my family has been just experiencing a very tender season. We lost my little cousin way too soon, about a month ago. And that has just been really tender on my heart. My brother, as some of you know, was in an accident, an ice skating accident. He's in recovery. We've been going back and forth for his care. Um, and why do I share this? I share this because for so many of us that are BIPOC folks, our our families have experienced so much and continue to experience so much. But even so, we have so much medicine. We have so much support. And I share this because sometimes these things in life that are traumas, illness, injury, grief, sometimes it breaks our hearts open. But also, this is a place where medicine can flow from. This is a place, that tender place is also a place where medicine can flow from. And for myself, even in this moment of offering this collective, I have felt, even in this tender season, the support of there's something for us to co-create together. There's something healing that is for all of us to be received. There's something for us to bring forth that can only be done in community. And so, even if you are also in a very tender place, I just want to say you are welcome here. You are right on time, and there's space for you wherever you land, to feel held and to feel known and to feel invited into community. I just feel so grateful to be here. This is a little clip that I also wanted to share. I have been on a season of reclaiming and decolonize that has really spanned over a decade. Probably 15 years or so of my life has been a journey of calling my spirit back, particularly on ancestral lands with elders, learning more of my ancestry. And one of the what I call is like a moment of call, a moment that would catapult me forward. One of those moments, I was maybe about 10 years ago or so. I was at a conference and they had some native hand drummers. And at that time, because my grandfather had passed before I was born, I wasn't really exposed to a lot of the indigenous teachings besides my mom telling me, remember that you're native. But I was not able to be in relationship with my own elders. And so I remember being at a conference and hearing these hand drummers. And when the drum was pounding again and again, it was again like something broke open in me. And I just began to weep. I was weeping at this conference in a way that my body and my spirit knew something that maybe my mind did not know. And for me, this was one of the first of many moments when I felt the ancestors calling me forward. I remembered my grandfather. I remembered, um, you know, just the stories that my mom had shared, especially about them needing to leave Oklahoma because they were stealing Native children at the time. I remember just feeling a sense of creator just telling me it's time to learn about where you come from. It's time to learn about your ancestors. It's time to come home in a way. And although I was doing some reclamation before that, this was one of the deep moments for me of many that would call me forward into visiting my ancestral lands, into learning with elders and wisdom keepers, into reclaiming some of our spiritual practices, into decolonizing at the time, being in church spaces that were patriarchal, white supremacist, um, gleaning the good and taking those forward, but also leaving what wasn't for us to begin with. And this is a really tender moment that I just wanted to invite you into. When I felt my ancestors calling me through many little connections to learn with a wisdom keeper in Guatemala, to learn cacao, to learn some womb wisdom. And this is just kind of a little video blog, and I'll just share a couple minutes of it, inviting you into the softness and the heart of what it's looked like on the journey and the integrity that it comes from. So I invite you and let me know if you can hear it. And I've been on a long journey of decolonization of growing up in the Western church and being introduced to a Jesus that was very white, that was very colonial, that was very afraid of who we are as women, of the medicine that we carry. Oh, and what a gift that it's been, and how costly and how beautiful it's been to say yes to the invitations of the Spirit, to say, listen to the voices of your ancestors. Come home, and I tell you the same. Remember who you are, remember where you come from. So I'm just so grateful to be here in Maya land to learn from wise elders and wisdom keepers and gomandronas, midwives. And I have just been sensing the Spirit saying, the things that I have for you to receive are things that I've been waiting your whole journey to impart to you. And I've just been feeling that word strongly, and also the sense that you weren't even ready for the things that I'm going to impart to you, and now you're ready. And as so many of us that were brought up in the Western church, what a journey, what a costly, beautiful, out of the box journey of decolonizing and coming back to myself that I've been on. And I also have just been feeling the sense of my ancestors, and I think many of your ancestors are telling you the same thing, of saying, It's okay if your family doesn't understand you at all. It's okay if they think you're crazy. It's okay if nobody on earth, if it feels like nobody understands the decisions that you have had to make, because Spirit has called you for this moment to be exactly who you are, to receive exactly what you're about to receive. And I feel the ancestors saying yes. I feel the ancestors saying, yes, you're the one. It's time. Let's continue to heal for you, for us, and for the generations that come after us. We bless you, and so ready for this journey, and I'm so excited to share what I learned. So this is just a little moment of my journey that I wanted to share with you. Um, can you also let me know this, you can't see my screen anymore, right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for entering into that, tender moment of my journey. I share that because I think it's so important for us to realize that we're not alone. And I trust that you are here because you have also been on a journey of decolonizing. I trust that the people that have felt a sense of call into this container have felt a sense of call because you've also been on the journey. You've also been reclaiming your roots. You've also been decolonizing. And it's important for us to know that we are not alone. It's important for us to begin a journey of co-creating and bringing forth our medicine together. And so I share these points of my journey for you to know that you're not alone, that we're on this journey together. Um, and I just thought I'd pause for a second before I share a little bit more about the container. If anybody wants to share maybe just how it resonates with you on your own journey. Have you felt those moments of call? Have you felt those moments that are maybe glimmers in your journey that have called you forward, maybe into another level of healing? Maybe it's called you forward into communing with your own land or reclaiming some of your own practices. I'd love to hear that. Maybe you can also put some of that in the chat for a second. Just inviting you again to think and reflect on your own journey. And I'm gonna start sharing my screen again and just share again a little bit more about the journey together that I hope that we can take. Hi, my name is Chris. So we don't need to see that video because I've already shared a little bit about my story. But again, CQ Soul Care is a place of offering trauma-informed spiritual direction, soul care circles to BIPOC folks, to people that are seeking to decolonize their relationship to God, to reclaim ancestral wisdom, and to offer our gifts towards communal liberation. And so I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that we can be in community to do these things together. Hi, my name is Christina Quintanilla, and I want to share a little bit about the circle that we are going to be hosting this summer. And I'm so excited to invite you into this. I want to share about some of the people that are going to be co-creating this space. First, I shared a little bit about my journey. I'm gonna be helping facilitate this with a really dear friend named Lisa. She's a prominent Filipinx author, editor. She's an activist. She has had such a beautiful and deep journey of also connecting with her own ancestors and ancestral practices. She's an author of Dear Sister, Letters from Survivors of Sexual Violence. It is going to be really beautiful to share space with her. What Lisa and I are going to be doing is guiding us. So this journey is going to be a journey where we're going to be learning from some elders and wisdom keepers, which I'll share a little bit about who we're going to be learning from. And every week there's going to be a week for a teaching and a week for integration. So this is just a little bit of an outline of what the journey is going to look like. We'll have an opening ceremony, which Lisa and I will be guiding, and that'll start on the 17th. We'll be having a teaching with Michelle, who's Cree. She's the founder of Iskew Health, which is a beautiful place in Canada where Indigenous women can come and reclaim teachings, but also joy and dance and movement and somatics. And she's just a really beautiful person. I'll share about her in a little bit. Um, After every teaching, we will have kind of like a soul care practitioner come and deepen our understanding. So this next week, we're gonna have which I'll share about in a second, who's gonna come and offer some integration. We'll have a teaching with Nana Mai, who is a Mayan elder. Um, After this teaching, we'll have Chris Yisa, who is a queer artist, an activist, and spiritual director, helping us integrate that teaching. We'll have a retreat and a space, a guided retreat on our own. So I'll kind of like create a retreat guide for you to take home and to integrate. And then we'll be ending with an elder teacher from Carolina, who is a Tika medicine woman and ceremonialist. We'll have some integration with Drew, who's the founder of Wayfinding Collective. And then Lisa and I will be closing our journey together. And I just want to share a little bit about a little bit of pictures of some of these folks. So this is Nana Mai. And I don't know if you can see my arrow, but I just love Nana Mai Alvarez. She comes from Puebla. She is a Mayan spiritual guide. She works with the life force of our uterus. She does steam healings for folks. She's founder of Escuela de la Mujer Transpersonal, which is a school for women to reclaim our life force, our practices. She works with the fire. She works with cacao. She works with the nahuales, which are the energies of each day in the Mayan cosmovision. And to be in her presence is an absolute gift. I have been so grateful to learn from this elder, and it really is beautiful to be in relationship and that she will be helping guide our journey. Um, on the bottom here is Michelle. She is the woman that is Cree. She's a therapist, culturally grounded in her traditional ways. And she also is the founder of Iskew Health, which again is a wellness center for Indigenous folks out in Canada. She's doing really good work. And she's also just, she brings a joyful and light presence to healing, which I think is also so needed with movement. And it's going to be beautiful to learn from her. Over in the corner over here is Maestra Carolina. She is from Costa Rica. She's a Tika medicine woman working with tobacco, working with cacao. Um, she's just a powerful woman and a powerful presence. And Marta knows Carolina. Marta has been under a student of Carolina's, a friend of hers, and I thank you as well for being in community and connection and to be in her presence and to have ceremony with Carolina is absolutely life-changing. Her connection with the four directions, her connection with the ancestors. Um, I don't have words other than to say to be in the presence of these elders is an absolute gift. And I invite you, as they have blessed my journey and deepened me and deepened my roots, I invite you to come and to receive and to let these elders also, embrace you. And so this is why they're going to be journeying with us. Um, we have our elders, and then we also have some really beautiful soul care circle facilitators. These are folks that have journeyed with integrity. Every single person that I have invited to guide us, they have been on the journey of reclaiming their own roots, their own um, their own practices and really have learned to hold really beautiful, gentle space for a community to co-create together. These are folks that we all believe that you all have gifts that absolutely needed to be called forth in this world. And this is a place where, you do the plans and the preparations to receive people, but you trust the spirit to do the rest. And so when we integrate after the elder teachings, this is space for our community to co-create and to deepen together. And so we're going to be guided again by Chris, who's a queer diasporic Korean artist, author, retreat facilitator, care practitioner. She's an activist. Chris is a fiery but gentle presence. And it is beautiful to be guided in that gentle but also fiery energy for us to co-create together, for us to bring forth our own visions and our own dreams and to be in community to birth these things. On the other down here actually is Drew Wiggins, and I wanted to include Drew because Drew is on a reclaiming journey, as many of us are. He's also multi-ethnic, he's mixed, queer, reclaiming queer Chicano. And this is just as important, especially in our Indigenous spaces, to know that our queer siblings, our mixed folks, have just as much medicine. And he has done so much work on his own journey of reclaiming his um doing like some soul healing himself. And so it's going to be beautiful to be guided by him to deepen in the elder practices. He's also a somatic practitioner. He's a PhD trained depth coach. So I think it's going to be beautiful after we hear Carolina's teaching for Drew to help us to deepen in that teaching and to co-create together. We also have E, which is she's just a beautiful force in this world. She is a mother of a neurodivergent child. She is a mindfulness coach. She's an activist. She has a deep, deep soul and a deep journey. She's founded a community called Pray with Your Feet, which is about not just being in spiritual practice, but let's bring this forward into the world in action and advocacy. She has a community for mothers, especially mothers that support children with special needs. And the way that she guides gently, but also guides us into direct action, I think is a gift. So all these people are just so beautiful. And I myself, I'm so expectant, so grateful, so curious for us to be in community. And what a powerful thing for us to co-create together. And this is a little bit about the journey. It's going to be 9 weeks of care. Again, opening, closing ceremony, nourishing teachings, guided spiritual practices, soul care circles that help us to communally vision and reclaim. And then here's a little bit about the price. The price is a sliding scale. It's the price is 900 with options for scholarship up to 300 and also options for monthly payment plan. And if somebody needs, we can do even longer payment plan. And this is a little bit, I put this on the website of, I think it's so important to name like how and why the cost was decided. And if you're like me, if you've ever been in the nonprofit sector, if you've ever been in the church, like I really have seen particularly women of color, queer folks, indigenous folks be very extracted from. And any space that I create, I do not want any of that energy to be here. And so I believe that practitioners of color should be paid for their work. I believe that elders should be paid. And so, and also a portion of this is going to be going towards Carolina, Quinta Locura in Costa Rica. She's building just a beautiful place of stewarding her ancestral lands and welcoming people. So a portion of this is being gifted, 10% actually is being gifted to her we're paying the folks that come. And then also myself as a woman of color, being indigenous, being having chronic illness and working part-time because of all of that. This is also my soul's work. This is my bread and butter, and it's about honoring everyone else and also honoring myself. And we have to learn to do that as well, right? As folks of color. And so if you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask. If you feel a call and things are tough or tight right now, please reach out and like we're in community. And so a little bit about the cost and about how that's figured out together. I wanted to share about a couple folks that have been in our circles before, and it's just really quick, but there's something really beautiful and powerful that happens when we come together. And I've just been grateful to be in community with these folks and that they also wanted to share a little bit with us about what their experience has been in the last, maybe this is the fourth journey that we've had. Um, so yeah, this is Amanda, who's also a reclaiming Chicana.
I met Christina probably about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago,
And can you hear?
as part of another collective for people with similar identities and who are decolonizing their spiritual practice, their day to day, and it genuinely changed my life. I am mixed Indigenous Mexica and various European. And as someone who has been decolonizing for the last handful of years and who worked in Christian ministry for several years, was very much involved in, I just call it a colonized faith. Yeah, there was just a lot of trauma, a lot of not feeling seen, a lot of, I know that there is more for me that Creator has in store that honors Creator, but also honors who I am, my identities, my backgrounds, my loves, the things that I have been created to do, and my sense of justice, my queerness, my just love for creation. And I knew that there was something that I just wasn't getting in the traditional spaces that I'd been in previously. So anyway, I was part of a cohort with Christina for a few months, and another, like a huge community of other women of color and femmes who were in the same boat, and just the sense of community that I had, the ability to just be completely myself in every single way, to not be afraid to share my experiences, both from being in the church but also since leaving it, not being afraid to just really be who I am. Just the word liberation comes to mind, but it was really, really, truly life-changing, and it reminded me, like, wow, I'm not the only one who wants this, and I'm
Grateful to hear from Amanda. And there's more folks that share. And if you'd like to hear some of those stories, I have them on my website, zqsoulcare.com. This is Miranda. But for the sake of everyone's time and getting a little connection, I'll let you go to the website if you'd like to hear any more of those testimonies of folks that have been able to journey together. Um, And just sharing again of what the calendar looks like. This is also on the website. It's going to be 9 weeks of deepening with elders, of soul care circles, of integration, of community. And I'm just so excited for us to co-create together. This round, as opposed to the last maybe three iterations, this particular time in history just feels so important that we would be co-creating spaces of healing, spaces of liberation, that we would be bringing our gifts forward. It feels like the call this time is for folks that have been doing the work of reclamation, that want to deepen, that want to not do it alone, to want to do this in community. And to also have spaces where we can feel held by one another and held in community in a gentle way. And so I invite you. This is another woman that you're welcome to read on the website. I have also been offering individual sessions, particularly helping us connect with either God, ancestors, the four directions, and she's just sharing about a powerful experience that we were able to have in connection with her ancestors, and um, we're going to be journeying together as well in connection with our ancestors, with the four directions, with elders and wisdom keepers, and in community. I believe that all of you have gifts to bring forward, and that we can co-create something really beautiful together. And so I'm going to open us up into some community time for a second, but I'm just going to give you maybe 30 seconds to a minute to sink into your own, inner knowing and inner wisdom, to perhaps invite your own ancestral cloud, to feel supported by Mother Earth, by the air, by the water, by the fire. And even to just see in an embodied way, if this is a group, if you'd like to journey together, I trust that your body, that your ancestors, that your intuition knows if this is for you right now or if maybe another time. But I just invite you into maybe 30 seconds or a minute of silence and deepening, and just asking for yourself. And so just inviting a little silence and a little space for you to invite your own inner wisdom. And if this is something that you feel led to journey with us in community. And we trust, however you're feeling led, that you are held, that you're supported, that you're loved. And so feel free to take as long as you need. And for those of you that feel a sense of that you'd like to journey with this, I have a couple links here. There's a link in the middle as this scan to sign up. There's a sign up sheet here. For those of you that are thinking, I kind of need a little bit more time and I'm still figuring it out, there's a QR code here on the very right hand bottom corner. And this QR code is just to stay in community, and I'll be following up with folks in like a week or so. It takes you to the website where you can kind of keep sitting on these things for yourself. And there's a sign up sheet at the very bottom of the page, and that allows you to just kind of sign up to for me to reach out and to stay in community, to check in on you. But I just wanted to open it up. If folks need to head out, that is completely okay. If you need to go, and for anyone who wants to hang out afterwards and connect, I would love to connect with you as well. And so, I might invite you to, um, before I take the screen off, to scan either of those or to take a picture. And then I'll take the screen off and then we can visit together. So I'll give you a second. And then maybe you can give me a thumbs up if I see some thumbs up. If you're ready for me to stop sharing the screen.
To go, but I wanted to speak. Thank you for sharing, and I'm really, really